Hello again, CASA friends. Miss Mia here, starting our lesson in outer space. Did you know that planet Earth has a nickname? It is also called the blue planet. And it's called the blue planet because the majority of planet Earth's surface is covered in water, nearly 75%, or 3/4 if you want to talk fractions. And this is why our beautiful planet Earth looks so blue when you're looking at it from space. Now let me tell you something about all of that water. It's moving all the time. It does not stay still. It rushes in rivers. It goes in and out with the tides. It falls with the force of gravity. It even travels up through the air and then floats along in the sky as beautiful clouds. And did you know that water is also changing all of the time? Even though water is always made from the same molecules, these molecules can move away from each other or closer together, causing the water on the planet Earth to change into 3 different forms. The solid form, known as ice, and the liquid form, known as, well, just water, of course. And we can also find water in its gas form on planet Earth when it is called water vapor. Solid, liquid, gas. Do you remember those words from our lessons on the 3 states of matter? Oh, and one more fact about water. Whether it's a solid, a liquid, or a gas, whether it's in a puddle, an ocean, on a mountaintop, or in the clouds. No matter which state of matter it's in or where you find it, the amount of water on planet Earth pretty much stays the same. We don't lose water or gain more water. In fact, that water that you've got inside your bottle for PE, it's the same water the dinosaurs were drinking many millions of years ago. And it's also the same water that the cave people were drinking thousands of years ago. It sure moves and it sure changes, but the quantity of water on our blue planet remains constant. Oh, hi there! Now let's talk more in person about that forever moving, traveling, changing water on planet Earth. I'm going to draw you a picture and sing you a song about something called the water cycle. The water cycle is the name that we use for how water moves and changes on planet Earth. Have you heard of the word cycle before? Well, a cycle is like a pattern. It's something that happens over and over again in the same order. And cycle also sounds like a word that we already know. Shall I give you a hint? It's a shape, like the wheels on your bicycle. Did you say circle? You're right. So the water on planet Earth moves around in a cycle. That is a pattern that is a circle, or a circular cycle, if you will. Now let's have a look at our whiteboard. The blue waves on the whiteboard represent all of the water that is on the ground on planet Earth, whether it's in a lake or a stream or an ocean or even a puddle. And this, of course, represents our sun. As you know, our sun is a very hot star. So as the rays of the sun reach our planet Earth, they heat up the surface of the water. And when the surface of the water gets heated up, it begins to change from a liquid to a gas. Do you remember what we call water in its gas form, in its gas state? Did you say water vapor? If you did, you're right. So the water heats up and turns from liquid into water vapor. And that water vapor begins to travel up and through the air towards the sky. There's a name for the process by which liquid transforms into gas. And it is called evaporation. Try and say it. Evaporation. Yep, it's a big long word and it means when liquid changes into gas. That process is called evaporation. And it's also the first stage of the water cycle. Let's stick it on our whiteboard. So as a result of all of this evaporation, we have water vapor that is moving up to the sky or the atmosphere. And the higher you get, the colder the temperature. As that water vapor cools, it turns into teeny tiny water droplets. And those teeny tiny water droplets come together along with some other gases and dust particles to form got it, the clouds. So clouds are actually made up of teeny tiny water droplets suspended in the air. They are so small and so light that they are able to float in the sky. And by the way, there's a name for this process by which water transforms back from its gas form, water vapor, into its liquid form. That name is condensation. Say it. Very good. Condensation. Condensation is the second stage of the water cycle. Let's add it to our whiteboard. I'm wondering if you noticed something about condensation and evaporation. Think about it. They are both caused by changes in temperature. Evaporation, when water changes from a liquid to a gas, happened when the water was heated up, so it was caused by heat. And condensation, when that gas transformed back into liquid water, happened when water was cooled down. So temperature changes cause both evaporation and condensation. And do you know what? You can see both condensation and evaporation in action in your own house. When you boil a pot of water and your stove is the source of heat that heats up that water, then you can see the water begin to evaporate and the water vapor starts rising from the water in the pot. Next, what you could do is take a cold lid for the pot and place that lid on top of the pot. After just a short time, you will begin to see water droplets form on that cooler lid. And those water droplets have happened because of condensation. Water continues its amazing journey through the cycle as it travels along with the wind in a cloud. The cloud collects more water droplets as it goes, and these droplets crash into each other to become bigger droplets of water. Eventually, they will get too heavy for the cloud to hold any longer. Then the cloud will burst open and the water will fall back to the ground. So our little cloud continues to blow along with the wind, picking up more water as it goes. And eventually, our cloud turns into a big, full, dark cloud. And we all know what happens next. The cloud bursts open and the water from inside it falls back to the surface of the earth. This is called precipitation. Can you say precipitation? Good. Precipitation is the third stage of our water cycle. Let's add it to our whiteboard. So far we have evaporation, condensation, and we've just added precipitation. Now there's more than one type of precipitation, and water can fall back to the earth in different forms, like rain. Thank goodness I brought my umbrella. And snow. Is it just me, or is it cold in here? Brrr. And even hail. Safety first. So whether water falls as rain, hail, or snow, through precipitation, it has made its way back to the surface of our planet Earth, where it collects on land, for example, mountaintops, or in water bodies, like our ocean over here. And this is the fourth and final stage of the water cycle, called collection. Can you say collection? Great. Let's add it to our whiteboard. And can you guess what happens next? The water cycle begins all over again. Which leads me to our water cycle song. I'm going to sing it now very slow so you get a chance to really listen to the lyrics and try to memorize them. Then you can sing it along with me. Here we go. Water travels in a circle, yes it does. Water travels in a circle, yes it does. It goes up, evaporation, forms the clouds through condensation, comes back down, precipitation, yes it does. And then collection. I had to add that last part on because the original song didn't have collection in it. All right, shall we try it again together? Water travels in a circle, yes it does. Water travels in a circle, yes it does. It goes up, evaporation, forms the clouds through condensation, comes back down, precipitation, yes it does. And then collection. Okay, now let's do it with the hand gestures that I like to use with the song. Water travels in a circle, yes it does. Water travels in a circle, yes it does. It goes up, evaporation, forms the clouds through condensation, comes back down, precipitation, yes it does. And collection. One more time. Water travels in a circle, yes it does. Water travels in a circle, yes it does. It goes up, evaporation, forms the clouds through condensation, comes back down, precipitation, yes it does. And collection. Okay guys, that's my video on the water cycle. I have to give a special shout out to Zoe Miller and her water cycle t-shirt. She's worn it many times this school year and she inspired me in the first place to make a lesson about the water cycle. See you again soon.